welcome to One Book July. To begin, I thought I would give you a quick flip of my planner and also show you these. These are our sticker sheets. You can find these in my Patreon. I will put the link down below. You don't have to be a member. You can get them in the shop. They are $3, which is the lowest price I can put in the shop, I'm afraid. Sorry, I was going to put it for like $1.50, but it's $3. Don't forget, if you are a Patreon, you can use your discount code to get a little bit off. This is my planner. Sorry about the glare, it'll go away in a second. I'm using a Hobonichi Avec A5. So this is January to June. Got some bits and pieces in here. These are just little bits and pieces. I don't like having this completely empty. So I've just got like stamps and interesting little ASL cards, some stickers, some washi tape, this cool little card from by Bun, got some collagey bits in here that I stick in, and so on. I also used my now Girl of All Work tabs. These are the repositionable tabs from Girl of All Work from 1900. Seriously, I have no idea when these came out. They're actually removable tabs. You can like, you're supposed to be able to take them off, but they're so old now and they've been used so many times that the sticky, as you can see, is now permanent. So I thought, you know what, instead of just having them sat on a sticker sheet, I'll use them up. So I put them in here. This is from a magazine. I don't remember which one, but I liked the picture. Usually I go for like a crazy collage type thing, but I just went for one picture this time, and I've got another one to go on the new one, if I can find it. I need to dig it out. I don't know where I've put it. It's gone into one of those safe place things, so who knows. I just stuck bits on the inside just to, you know, liven it up a bit. I just liked this imagery. This silly page that doesn't open properly is what I use to put my post-it notes on, because it protects the post-it notes. This is my Patreon organisation. So this is the 1 year overview. It does go all the way up to 12. And I do use this for other things as well, just to make notes. I also started writing in YouTube videos and Twitch streams. I need to catch up on those. I haven't put all my Twitch streams in, but I did start writing in my YouTube videos. And I basically just mark these off as I go so that I know where I'm up to. All of my classes are live, but I have other stuff that I do to like prep for stuff. And then I have things after the class that I put up, like PDFs or whatever. Or if we do an art stream, then whatever artwork I've done. So I use this to make sure that I keep up to date with everything. Then I got my monthlies. Now my monthlies, I started decorating them in advance. In fact, I did that with my monthlies and weeklies. I started decorating them in advance and it did not work for me. I need to have the space and then fill in the gaps afterwards, which is apropos of the current situation. Mind the gap. So with my later ones, I think starting here, I started putting in my appointments, my schedule, everything that I needed to do. I do it all in pencil so it's easy to rearrange because things do get changed. And then I do the bare minimum of just like adding a bit of colour or putting the month in or something so it's easy to see. But I don't really decorate inside this bit until later, once I've got a good amount of the month in. So like, I didn't do this in advance. I just realised that I had a whole column here that had nothing in it, and I thought, oh, we'll just throw some more of these in that I'd done over here. So I don't even decorate the page all in one go. I think originally I came in and just did I think I did the stickers around the outside first, and this, and then I went back in with some watercolour, and then I did the raindrops, and then I came back and did these raindrops and added some more stickers. So I do it throughout the month, as it were. Go for different themes every month. Again, this I did at the beginning of the month and then I filled in with the stickers afterwards. I'm on a big mission to use up my sticker sheets and this is a great way of doing it. Same here, I did the colour just to brighten it up a bit and then I went in with the sticker sheets. Same again. So I've got into quite a routine with this of just going in and putting in the colour and then going in and adding stickers. And what I usually do is like I'll add some stickers here or here. I think I added these and these because that's the end of the month and I knew I wasn't doing anything there. And then I stuck the sticker sheet in here in the front of my book and just came back and added stickers when I knew I had spaces for them. decorated July because July is actually going to go in the other book. It's just that I'm pre-planning things. I'm pre-organising things, so I've got stuff that I need to write in. Then I've got my weeklies, and I didn't really know how to use my weeklies other than I knew I wanted to use them for my to-do lists. So I started off with a set format, pre-decorating down at the bottom. I used this section. Obviously, I've got the week of, because this doesn't register with me. I need it big and bold. I have this section, which was my actual appointments. I very rarely have appointments before 5 o'clock during the day. It's all evening and late evening. But what I found was that didn't leave me enough room for my to-do lists. So after a while, I stopped doing that. I also found it was a bit difficult to, like with this was one of the turning points where I realised that you can't do big stuff like that. So my birthday week, I had these chocolate stickers and I didn't know what to do with them. So I thought, well, you know what? I'll use the similar format, but I'll wait like I do with my month and I'll decorate a bit later in the week. And that worked and I liked it. So I kept doing that. Still using the same format. I also started adding in my astrology information and other stuff. That worked for a while. But what I found, and as you can see from this, I started to not be putting in my to-do lists. I started writing my to-do lists on Post-its. I don't really know why. I think it was because I was pre-decorating. I was putting things in like weeks in advance. This is my 100-day project. So you'll see these written all the way through. That's my 100-day project I've been working on since February. I need to get the last few days done, and I haven't done it yet. Again, pre-decorated didn't use the page, so I figured out at this point that pre-decorating was stopping me using the page. That was actually a week off. So at some point I stopped doing that. Here, I stopped doing it. I didn't use this week for anything anyway. I wrote my lists somewhere else, so I just stuck that in. But then I started doing it so that I just used it for my lists and then I added decoration to it later. And this works so much better. So now I do all the information, I put my lists in, I put my appointments in, I put in the information that I need, and then I add decoration when I feel I've got time. So as you can see, I haven't done this week. This week, here we go. I have done this week. There we go. Got some lists and things I need to do. I've pre-written some stuff in for next week. But basically, this is what my calendar tends to look like now. It's basically my schedule at the top, because it's not time related. It doesn't really matter. I put my stuff at the top. Then I'm freer to use this space, and then I throw in stuff afterwards. So my monthlies, I'm using the empty page and the first for... Originally, I started just decorating it for the monthly, putting in pictures of the books I read that month, my goals and such. I kind of fell off the bandwagon with that during the year. I'm using my pages, my daily pages, just as a notebook. I don't, unless I have something specific to go on a specific date, like full moons and stuff and events and things like that, I will put on specific pages. But like this is my TBR stuff. It just needs to be on the pages. I do longer lists like these in my pages because it's easier to see what I'm doing. I don't fill up every single page, but I do fill up most of them. But you can see I've got quite a few empty. It took me a little while to settle into this one. I've also got some stickers and stuff. I do collage pages. Basically, I just use this however I feel like, and I don't feel bad about having gaps. You know, I'm not going to go in this one book July all the way back to January and start filling in gaps. I'm just going to, you know, where I've got several pages that are empty, you know, I've got some notes to put in there that are somewhere else. I've got several pages that are empty, or if I've got like a double page spread, that's a good option for a collage or something like that, or a specific page of something. But I'm not worried about these kind of gaps. They're there, it's fine. Sometimes I go all out. I wish I could had time to do this every day, but I don't. So that's not really going to happen. These printables are really useful. These are from ToadfootTales. I'm on her Patreon. She does a huge amount. I think there's 2 of them. They do a huge amount of witchy printables and stickers and sheets and Book of Shadows stuff and all sorts of things. And I just print them out on sticker paper and put them in here. I will leave her link down below. Sometimes I do a drawing, not very often, but it's just like a scribbly thing like that. Again, goals pages, just what I want to do, books I've read. So you can see I'm not really tarot spreads. I'm not exactly using this on a daily basis. I'm not every single day I'm in here doing a daily page. Very much I mostly use my monthly and weekly. That is where the core of my planning is done. And this is more like, I suppose you could call it a journal. It's just bits and pieces. Sometimes it's dated, like this was a specific date. Other times it's just interesting things. What I've started doing, instead of, all those screenshots and things you take, or those funny things that you see on Instagram or whatever, and you think, oh, that's really cool, and you save it. Yeah, what do you do with them? Well, I print them out on sticker paper. I put them into GoodNotes and print out a sheet of stickers, a bit like this, and then I cut them up and use them in my book. So I did the Myers-Briggs thing, came out as an INTPA, Logician, and it was really interesting, and they're cute graphics, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to cut that down and print it out and stick it in my book. Sometimes I just make notes, sometimes I don't do anything. What I need to do, I think, is go through and mark pages that have got a 2-page spread. I think that's where I want to start. Sometimes I don't actually write in my book at all. I write on post-it notes and then I just stick the post-it notes in. Call it collage. Yeah. It's not terribly exciting, it's not full to the brim, but I don't need it to be full to the brim. I just wanted it to be something I could play in. Like this is a page I set up to do a book review because I absolutely loved this book, The Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I'm a big fan of her books. I love her writing. I had this moth. I think it's a butterfly, but I had this picture. It fit the vibe, and I was going to do a bit of a book review and write down I got some quotes from the book. I got some thoughts that I wanted to write down, but I was so excited having finished the book and enjoyed it so much that I went straight into reading Hellbent, which is the sequel. And I never got around to coming to the back to this page. So one of the things I want to do as I'm transferring things over is come back and mark off pages that I just want to come back in and finish them off. Where did those pages go? Right, these pages, you'll see a lot of these. For Christmas, my mum and dad got me Masterclass subscription because I really, really, really wanted to do about 4 or 5 of the different writing courses. Neil Gaiman was the big thing. That was the one that I would have paid 120 quid for his class just on its own. But I get to do all the others as well. So I took the notes, and to make sure that I knew where all the notes were, because I started up here somewhere and I kind of backfilled. So this is not number 2 of the series. And then I think I started, it's kind of weird. So I went, I don't know where it starts, but I started on the day I started the class. And then when I got to a point where I couldn't fill in anymore, I came back and I went, you know what, I'm going to start filling in some of these back pages. So I came back here and I started here and I worked through these pages. And then I came back again and I worked through these pages. So I've got kind of little chunks of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 going backwards in the book. I need to note those on one of my index pages. I'll probably use these pages at the back. I don't use them for anything. I haven't used them for anything, the empty pages. I might put them on one of these, so I've got a little crib sheet. But then I decided to come in and just do a very simple watercolour cut thing so that I knew what it was about and that they all went together and they're easy to see. And that's what I need in my book. I need it to be visual. I cannot just have lots of writing and just have a header and highlight it. I've got to have all the information right in front of me and easy to see and lots of colour and stuff like that. So like this one here, I know is my Joy Ellis series, which I'm working through all her books at the moment. I love her stories. Here's some more of the same thing. So, visually it's very easy to see. All of this goes together. But I just need to write myself in a note somewhere of what order these go in. and what pages they're on, which I can do through the dates. And I may... well, that would be a good use for this, actually, using this as an index, but I prefer using it for this. But, oh, I could use this. I could use this page to write in like what the notes are and then all the dates in order and what is on each date. That's a good use for this page because I'm not going to use it otherwise. Yes, I'll do that. Let me write that down so I don't forget. Master class notes index. There we go. Because I've got a couple of them, so I can write them in here, and then I know how to find them again later. So yeah, that's how I use my Hobonichi right now. I've collected some bits and pieces that I'm going to be putting it into the rest of the book, which I will show you as I do it. But that's my basic setup. The next one I need to do is get my July book out and start that. So you'll see, like, this is the kind of the after, or it will be when I've finished adding some bits into it, but the next one you'll see is the before. So that will be an interesting contrast to show them how chunky this beast gets. I don't know how anybody works in the full book for the whole year, because this is too much. Anyway, I'm going to, actually, immediately after this, I'm going to go and get my second book, which I've got sitting right here, and I will show you setting up my next book. It's not going to be terribly exciting, bit of moving from this book into that one, bit of messing about. Actually, I might leave, I don't need to use this one just yet. I just need to set it up. So maybe what I'll do is leave it in this cover for now and then swap it out of this one when I'm done. This cover is, this is just a Hobonichi one, and what I did was I put a bit of, this is scrapbook paper, because it looks nice with this. I love this. I just thought it'd be pretty. But this one is from an Etsy shop. I cannot remember the name of the seller, so I will find it and put it here. And I will also put a link down below. She makes these fabric covers that are just fantastic. I saw this Alice in Wonderland. I bought it 2 years ago for my A6, but she accidentally sent me an A5. And I contacted her and said, look, I need to send this back. I need an A6. And she said, oh, just keep it. I'll send you the A6. So I thought, well, now I've got an A5. Might as well use it, right? So here we are. And I do love this book. It makes me want to pick it up and use it, which is good. That's the end of my run through of what I do with my Hobonichi and how I use it. As you can see, it is not perfect. It is got lots of gaps. It's scratchy. It's scribbly. I am not a tidy person. I don't do tidy and neat and everything else, but I do need to feel in some way like I've finished this section, not as in I need to have it completely done and finished and full and perfect or anything like that, but just my brain needs to get to the point where I've detached from this book. And I can't explain it any other way. I just feel like I need to round off this book so that when I get to the end of June, I can fill in a few bits and pieces and say, right, that's it, we're done, moving into the other one. I hope that makes sense. Tell me if you're like that. Do you need to mentally disengage from a book once you get near the end of it? I'm curious, because I get it with my planners, journals, sketchbooks, everything, because I've been with this baby for 6 months. It's been my ride or die for 6 months, and now I've got to say goodbye to it and kind of ditch it for another one. Do I have guilt about abandoning inanimate objects? Maybe? I don't know. What is it? Is it sentimentality or just familiarity? I think it might be familiarity, because it feels like this is where I belong. This is where I know what I'm doing, you know? Maybe that's it. Tell me what you think. Comments down below. Links down below for everybody else as well. Don't forget. Also joining me on this crazy ride this month are Miss Vicky B, CARIE HARLING, and a new guest member, MIEKE MOONTIGER. Follow us over on the One Book July channel. Follow us individually. Do the things. Like, subscribe, etc. If you want to make your own videos, tag them with One Book July 2024 and they will go into the One Book July playlist. Make sure that you do use that hashtag, One Book July 2024, all one word. If you just put One Book July, it will not pick up. Okay? I've learnt this from previous years. Anyway, thanks for joining me and I will see you very soon. Bye!